Right, so we're on 1625. This is episode 2 of Road to 1800. E4, c5. I play the Sicilian, so this is what we're going for. E4, c5. Now, this is one of those Sicilians I have never studied, but I do know that this is correct. So let's start with that. I think I could still play knight c6 here. Knight c6, knight here. Can I play e5? That looks like it's a thing. Do I want to go g6 and bishop g7? Maybe that's more precise. I don't like fianchetto setups though. Okay, this has to be correct. My opponent also has some bishop g5 ideas. Bishop b5 rather, which I'm not afraid of. Okay, now I can play e4, right? But e4 invites all sorts of ideas here. So maybe I'm just gonna go d6. Because this, if I go knight f6 now, this pawn moves forward. So I'm playing this in a sort of Scheveningen fashion with d6 and then e6 coming soon. The question is, do I still go for e5 after knight takes d5? I think I might go e6. Actually, I'll just go knight f6. Yep, because the immediates, I don't want to give up this diagonal for the bishop, right? If I go here, it encourages the knight to move. Takes is great and all, but this bishop still has the diagonal. I could also go here, then there's check. So I'm playing knight f6 because it's a move that I cannot go wrong with, right? I'm just simply developing a knight. So I have two knights developed. I've made one pawn move. My opponent has two pieces developed. They're going to castle soon. I need to get in bishop. I had to get in e6, bishop e7, castles. I'm not really worried about tricks here at the moment because typically you want to play a6. Considering that my pawn is here. Maybe once I play e6 I should consider a6, right? Yep. When this knight develops, because there might be ideas of trying to grab this pawn. Especially if the bishop takes here. So if he gets knight c3 and bishop g5, I should consider a6 so that there isn't any... Okay, now let's go e6. I don't really want to move this bishop out of this diagonal because there's some sacks lurking here. We've actually transposed to the Fischer attack, I believe, right? Just a different move order. The Fischer attack, I need to get in a6. So if I see bishop g5, I'm going bishop e7. Okay, knight c3. I think I'm gonna go... Okay, let's go bishop e7 first. After the bishop comes in, I play a6, discouraging any ideas here. Also a6, b5 is an idea to gain more space. So, my opponent is 1742, which is quite interesting. But I don't think my strength is much lower than them. So typically you want to play a6, b5, put the bishop here. But the moment the bishop moves, while this knight is still here, again there are sacks lurking. So bishop here, I just go a6, I think. a6, I can't go b5 until we trade here. So I have to make some decisions there. My opponent, what does my opponent do here? I'm thinking bishop g5. Okay, so I just castle now. a6 is coming regardless of what they do now. I could also go, I have this, I have queen c7. Should I play h6 just to restrict the bishop from coming here? h6. Then they might decide to just play like f4, then bishop e3, I think. So I don't know. Maybe I do want to. Okay, this is fine actually, because now I get to play e6. If this, I guess we'll trade. This pawn becomes isolated though. So if e6, okay, that's exactly what's happened. Do I want to go back? Let's see, going here just invites takes and I lose my bishop. No, I do not, because my bishop goes here but the pawn stays here. Takes, if takes, maybe then I could put my knight here, hoping for a trade, right? I do not want this pawn to be isolated. That's number one. At the same time, okay, what about this? 98. 98 with the idea of what? Going d4. But then 98 is good if they decide to take, I think. But if I go 98, actually if they decide to take, the pawns are still isolated. So maybe this is the best. I should have gone queen c7 early. Okay. There's this. Takes. There's this. I think I don't want to trade queens. So I do have queen c7, bishop d6. These all come with tempo. Queen c7, what happens? I don't think this guy wants to stay here, especially considering. So let's go queen c7. This attacks the rook. Bishop here is not a good idea on account of bishop d6. Now I have rook d8, which comes to tempo. I do want to put my knight here though, and maybe my bishop here. This bishop can still go on b7. We might have c5 later on. So this is the part of the game where, if you've noticed, for the first 10 moves I wasn't really calculating long variations. It was mostly ideas, right? Like principles. So when I'm playing the game, I'm playing based off principles. If you're lower rated, it's kind of like, in football players usually play based on like formations at the beginning. Okay, maybe I should have calculated. You have a formation, you have a strategy, and it's only later on that you start to is this a thing now? Because okay, this still works. If this, I do have takes. Taking here, nah. Okay. Now bishop here might be a thing. This might be a thing. So maybe this knight here. I think I'm gonna go bishop b7. Now c5 attacks the queen. So the one thing I don't like about my position is how this pawn is isolated. But then I do have some nice development as compensation, right? Okay. I don't have push, so I have two options. I move my queen back, or I go here. Here there's takes, rook comes in. I think if I go here takes, I take with the rook. This knight, does this knight have any tricks against my rook? I could take with that rook with ideas of doubling up. This, I want my bishop in a more active square anyways, right? So unless I'm missing something tactically. Also, this opens up the idea of e5. But then if I play e5, this queen and this bishop will be eyeing that diagonal for a very long time. So after takes, I do not want queen takes, because rook here comes with tempo, right? Okay, so maybe I go here. I still have c5. The drawback is after knight goes here, I have to trade. Yeah, I think c5. I really need to get c5 in. With c5, I also have ideas of queen c6, creating a battery here. This move can be resolved. It's a one move threat, but sometimes one move threats can be useful to create weaknesses. So for example, if my opponent has to concede to playing something like f3, I think, okay, so this is the issue that I outlined earlier. I think I have to take, otherwise I'll just have a worse pawn structure. The beauty of that though, so we don't get rook takes. So what now? I think c5, attacking the queen. I'll have some queen c6 ideas. Interesting. But definitely go queen c6. I'm doing this because now that the queen hasn't gone back this way, this is weak. They have to play something like f6. This is also an option at some point, right? Maybe I double rooks first. I bring my rook here. If the bishop goes back, I do have this, and this comes with check. Queen b6, because my opponent would have played f6. f3 rather, sorry. Sometimes the name of the squares. This is f6 on the black side. On the white side, it's f3. So we have our A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, or that's also an option. What's a suitable move here? They're eyeing this. I think I want to double up, because if I allow this, I'll be the one reacting. So there is also a potential sack here, but yeah, I think let's double up. Next, I also have to think about creating luft. I might want to do this because they have a light squared bishop. So if I play h6, even though it's... So luft prevents back rank mates. I think bro wants to reroute his bishop at some point, right? Because the bishop here is... So the disadvantage of losing my b pawn is I no longer have b5. Yep. So I could push right away. Pushing right away though leads to bishop here. I think that's the idea. Also, this prevents me from going here. So if I push right away, the bishop obviously goes here. I put my queen here. Bishop takes, queen takes, I target that pawn. What's the alternative? The alternative is to put my queen here right away. But then they just play what? They just play b3. Now this doesn't have a threat. So I think I'll push the pawn. Bishop goes here. I put my queen here, attacking that pawn. Then we get bishop takes, queen takes. They have to resolve the issue here. Oh no, my internet just disconnected. Okay. The reason why I can't take is because of the rook. Actually, I can take. Takes, rook takes, I have check. Oh my goodness. Takes, rook takes, check, check. Ooh, okay, that doesn't work, right? Takes, rook takes, check. The rook just goes back. It defends this way. Damn. Yep. Unless takes, if takes takes, then I take. They create luft for their. Ah, that would have been an awesome tactic, right? Let me just check one last time. Takes, rook takes, check. Problem is rook blocks this way. Rook blocks the check. It's an interesting type of defense. If I take, they take. So, takes, rook takes. Yep. Damn. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the tactic doesn't work. But now, okay, it's the same thing. I really hoped they took with the, excuse me, the rook would have taken back. Takes, rook takes. What about takes, rook takes, bishop takes? It would have been queen and rook versus two rooks and a bishop. Yeah, that wouldn't have been any good. So I think it's bishop takes. Yeah, bishop takes, queen takes, I guess. Usually you want to calculate before making every move, but there was nothing to calculate there. Okay, that's an interesting move. Defends the pawn. I was expecting that. What do I have? Also attacks the pawn, but they cannot grab the pawn now because this pawn is still hanging, right? So what do I do? Okay, for one, I need to create luft for my king. Without the bishops, h6 is an option. Bringing my rook here, I might consider bringing my rook here, but the other rook just comes in. Nah, that doesn't work because it just takes. Okay. Here on the 7th, what is the threat? Can I go here to pile up on this square? Rook on the 7th is never a bad idea. After takes, I do have takes. Right? I think I put my rook on the 7th and I play h6. In this case, it's the second rank, but here, this doesn't work anymore. So if I put my rook here, I also have ideas of tripling up actually on the c file, believe it or not, that would be a thing. What's another candidate move? This, but that's too slow. I'm not facing the threat of, there's no threat of back rank mate at the moment, so maybe let's hold on to our cards for a moment. An alternative would have been to, yeah, but that's pointless. I could double up here, it also defends the pawn. I don't think trading this pawn for this pawn is a good idea for my opponent, because I'll also win this pawn. Otherwise they'll have to go for a passive position, right? Also winning this pawn would allow me to go on f6 maybe and attack that pawn. Okay. So I think the computer evaluation, what would it be here? It's either equal or I'm slightly better because I think I have the initiative, right? So maybe plus 0.5 plus 0. I mean minus 0.5 or minus 0.3 or something. I don't think I'm worse here. So I think black is slightly better, but it's close to equality. Ooh, okay, what do we do now? Okay, that move is the type of move Can I triple up? Triple up with the idea of going here maybe. I think let's triple up. We have this. I need to play h6 at some point, but doing it right away also gives up my initiative. It's a delicate balance that we have here. I don't like how quickly I made the last move though. But I don't think there are many options here. Okay, so the beauty of Queen f5 is I attack that pawn, I also attack this pawn, right? So it's a double attack. Do I, might we get f6 here? F3 rather. F3 though invites checks on the diagonal. Plus some business. Ooh. I think we go for the check though, right? So check. Imagine if they didn't take back and just ignored me. Check takes check here. That's definitely an option. What are my options? Either I go back and admit that was a bad move, which I'm not doing. Here, that invites the trade of queens. Not doing that either. Let's go for the check. Okay, now we have check. They could have blocked with the... Do I have f6 here? Losing this now is a possibility. Damn. Do I have this? This maybe. Try to go for a mate here. Also prevents them from grabbing the pawn. This is one of those positions where I also have this. After takes, I could take. This also comes now. This is not a threat though. I think this is the move I want to make here. It's also sneaky. Yep, let's do this. It defends the pawn. It attacks the pawn. It invites this. I need to create luft for my king though. At some point. I just don't want to give up the initiative. If the rook goes back, trying to attack, trying to chase away my queen. But what if the queen goes back? Oh, maybe that wasn't so good because now I'm forced to trade. But being forced to trade isn't so bad because I have this, right? I have this. Okay. Bro, really? Here. Now check here. What else? What will be next? What comes next after that? Maybe I go here. The queen goes there, trying to defend. What's the alternative though? I have to go for this. I'm giving up the pawn though. I have to go for this. Now we get check. I think I'll go for check here. No, I think I need to go for check here so that I have the option of bringing my rook here and taking there. Also now they cannot block this way. I want them to take here. Please take, because I have to check here and here. They still have queen here though, defending. Okay, so this might be the critical moment now. This might be the critical moment. So check. Huh, really? What about check? Check here. Damn. Check here. Check here. Here. Queen here. Oh, this is mate also. Damn, what am I doing? Check here. I cannot go here because this is mate. Okay, let's go check. Then here. It's only one pawn. I cannot go h5 because the rook just takes. Damn. So I have to settle for this. I cannot go here. Can I just go pawn hunting? Can I go here and try to go here? That's too slow though. Here, check. I go here. What now? Yeah, I'm kind of screwed a bit here. The queen isn't in any real danger. My queen is stuck in the corner. I'm down a pawn. I definitely don't want to trade pieces now. Okay, let's go here. Damn. Okay, they're trying to do the same thing to me. This plan doesn't work anymore. Here, here. Damn. So maybe this. This. Check. Also, check is a thing now. Ah, yeah, that's another thing. I gotta go back. Prevent the check as well. Maybe this. Go ahead and check there. If this, though, they get to bring their queen back. Damn. Where did I mess this up? Maybe I think going for the maybe going for this wasn't the best idea. Wasn't the right idea. Maybe it was a bit premature. Maybe I should have just okay, let's focus on the current position. That doesn't help me in any way. My only check now is here, which is not possible because of this guy. This, I think this will be my next move. If the queen simply goes back, I'm still going here, I believe. One of the reasons is now I threaten this, so they might be enticed to take. Ooh, is that a good idea though? Check. Problem is I don't have. Damn, maybe I should go this way. Those checks don't work either. This check. Damn. Oh no. Oh no. This forces the queen trade, doesn't it? Yep, that forces a queen trade and I'm 2 pawns down. Damn, I'll be able to get one, but yep, that's just losing. Oh man, I messed this one up. The other problem is their pawn is a queenside pawn. My king is all the way on h7. Damn, damn. I can't block because they just take. My opponent has two queenside pawns. Yeah, this is GG's. It always sucks to lose a rapid game because you spend so much time, right? So it might have been 20 minutes so far because it was a 15 plus 10 game. So we've reached 36 moves. That's an extra 10 seconds for both of us. Twice. Yeah, this pawn just goes. There's not much I can do, to be honest. I can't really stop it. If I try to stop it, the thing is they have tricks like this. So my only solution is to bring the king closer. Now I gotta go here. Otherwise, there might be tricks of like bringing the rook here and then I go there. So what's gonna happen is, this really sucks. This pawn comes into the aid of the other pawn. So let's go. I have to put my rook on a8. Whatever happens next, I cannot try to bring my king closer now because of a potential check. So I gotta go here. Okay, check now. Where do I go? I think I go here. Okay, now I think I can do this now, right? Because the pawn blocks. After this, I go here. Actually, my opponent does not care for. They might mess this up. In a blitz game, they might have. Because if I do get this, okay, now we go here. I think this is coming next. I go here. Yep. I think I just saved this game. Ooh, I even have the opportunity to go here. So, so let's see. I have this. Number one takes, or number two is this. There's this. I take. This is less direct. Bro. Yeah, I'm either winning or this is a draw. I think I prefer this approach. Because the thing is, this is a 4 on 3. What am I missing? This is a 4 on 3 as well. So the threat is it'll be hard for them to try and promote. Okay, maybe the other option was better. Now that I look at this, because the queen is getting in, right? This guy is getting in. So it takes me one, two moves, in one, two moves to get this guy. Yeah, I didn't think about this. Here, there's this. Oh man, I stopped thinking at the moment when I shouldn't have. Damn, this. I think I should have gone up and kept the rooks. This I have to take because I can't go that side. If I go here, he takes. I have to defend this way. Actually, maybe I allow takes and push. Push. Maybe this is my saving grace, no? Ah, damn. He push, takes here. If I go here, this, yeah. If I push, nah. Here takes, I take, there's just this. But this is the only try I have. That's not a good idea, bro. What did my opponent do? Because now I just push. Who, no matter what this pawn is promoting. If they go here, I just go the other way. If they go here, I go here. Here, I go here. Now it's just push, push. Bro. Check. That's crazy. Wow. That was definitely lost. That's crazy. My opponent's made a one silly mistake. This wasn't a good idea. Were they expecting me to take and take? Nah, why would I do that? The thing is I push. And this is GG's. Okay, now let's go. I kind of feel like maybe I should have gone for this here. Sorry, I should have gone here. Like this would have forced like. I don't think they might have even gone check. Yeah, maybe this was better. Right? Because next move I'm winning this. Okay, so they have to make a move like this. The thing is, checks. But I'll have to try to get back here. I don't know if I feel comfortable playing this. This guy is still going to try and come in here. I guess it's the same idea. Okay. I'm not really sure about this position, so what I'm going to do is I'll get the PGN. I'll go on lichess. Okay, let's switch scenes so you can see that better. I know it's blank right now. I'm going to import the PGN on lichess. And lichess board. I think this is the right screen. Okay. Let's go to the very top. Okay, I was black, so I'm going to rotate the screen, flip the board. Okay, e4, c5, this was okay. Let me pull up table base. See the most common moves. Okay, c takes. I guess apparently c3 is the... Okay, c3 we just get the Smith Mora. Knight here. Knight c6, I played the second most commonly played move. e5 is another option apparently. What happens if they take? Okay, that doesn't work. So maybe I should go for e5 here. Because this doesn't work because of tactics. Right, takes, there's check. Now we win this. The problem with e5 is you have this huge hole on d5. So I went for this. Knight c3. Knight f6. Knight f6 is not an issue here. Push. Okay, so again, the tactic is, this is the tactic that saves me, right? I wasn't aware of that, which is why I went d6. Okay, you go e5, but I decided to play it quietly. Now the pawn is hanging. Interesting. I could just take. I wasn't even looking out for that. But this is only minus 0.2, and if you don't know what this is, you might end up, yeah, you see, even this already is bad. You have to go here. Let's check here. To get the piece back, I don't think I want to play this position. So I'm glad I didn't take the pawn. Now we're in a normal Fischer attack, I believe. So let's try to open another. I'm gonna open another tab. The Fischer attack, I think the normal lines is just, let's flip the board. e4, c5, knight f3, d6. So the main line here, 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 oops, here, here, and I go here. My opponent goes like bishop c4 and I go e6. This kind of resembles this in a way, except instead of a6 I have knight c6, but I'll play knight c6 soon. Okay, so this is the position that we have. Opponent brings their rook in, I castle. This is all normal. Let me switch stockfish back on. Okay, apparently taking is fine. Takes. Computer wants me to trade because the knight undevelops. I guess you could. Yeah, that's a good move because I make the knight undeveloped, and there's chances my opponent might do something like this. But I didn't want to play a queenless game, so here is attack with tempo, more tempo. This is an option. This, I guess, prevents the bishop from coming in, so maybe I should play that first. But I had my eyes on the queen. Okay, this was fine. This was fine. It's one of the 3 top moves. Okay, and here we take control of the open file. The computer wants this. What's the follow-up? I don't even know. Okay, so this is logical. So this is what I was talking about. Takes, kind of works. If they had to do this, it's mate in 2. The problem is they can go back, and this is called X-ray defense. If I take, the rook takes back. Apparently, I could go for this, and what, it's plus 0.5. It's not losing. Still, this is very risky, right? I win 1 pawn. Yeah. So I decided to just get out of the way. Here, 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 here. Maybe. Okay, so the computer wants me to play this. This is kind of anticipating that we might need to go for mate at some point. So that's interesting. Okay, so I should go for this. Oops, this if takes. Yeah, but this looks very drawish, right? And my pawn structure on the king side, on the queen side, is not giving me any confidence. So instead we had this. I think I was too confident about my. Yeah, this was just wrong. I don't get the mates, so I should just go back. This is all wrong. 1 move threat, and now I'm completely losing. Crazy. I go back. This was wrong because, yep. Check. I could have actually even won a pawn here, interestingly. Check. Check, and here. Okay, we get this. If this. So here I thought the problem is, the reason why I played this is I hadn't noticed the check first. If I noticed that we are just trading queens, because I'm threatening this, I wouldn't have gone for this, I guess. Now I'm just losing. And I don't know what my opponent was thinking here, but yep, this just crazy. We're still this isn't, I haven't won this. This is not a draw. Okay. It's not a draw on account of the fact that their king gets to my pawns first. Takes, yep. Yep. Okay. I'm simply losing here. But this move, because if takes takes, even this is a thing, right? No, 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 that's not a thing. They have to go back. Ah, yeah. I think during the game I was thinking if here I go here and I have chances. Yeah, yeah. So they wouldn't have done that, obviously. So this, if I get the pawn, they push. I go after the pawn. They push. I go after the pawn. But white is first to arrive here, and even though it's a corner pawn, my king has to make a long journey to reach it. So this is lost. Anyways, it was one blunder from my opponent, and that cost them the game. Okay, so relatively straightforward game, right? It was mostly drawish. The game was mostly drawish, I think. I managed to equalize out of the opening. So as black, I don't think I was worse as black. The only problem is this was a bad plan because it doesn't lead to anything. So, yep, had a bad plan, was losing, but my opponent made one wrong move in the end game that resulted in a loss. So yeah, thanks to anybody who stopped by. I hope I was on the right scene also. Otherwise, that would just be weird. I hope I was on the right scene and it was visible. So, yeah, let's go back to this scene. Okay, one rabbit game is usually almost enough for me. Okay, now we are at 1656, which is not bad. 1656. I do think my strength is over 1700 though, so getting to 1800 might not be that challenging. It's also the reason why the I was paired up against the 1700 based on my past performance. So reaching this far, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks to everybody who stopped by, and see you next time. Cheers.